Hello guys and welcome back to Championship Predictions. We are back again predicting the second tier of English football after some midweek action that we need to talk about. Sophie, how are you? And set us a like target.
Yeah, I'm well, thank you, because I clawed a couple of points back. Let's go for 2,500 likes on this one.
Yep, let's do it. Guys, thank you once again for your brilliant support. Let's keep it coming. Everyone in here, take 2 seconds to drop a like and make sure you are subscribed. It really does help us out, and we're closing in on 90,000 subscribers. Sophie did just mention the scores from last time, where, to be fair, she did well. Honestly, credit to you, Sophie. 13-10. I think we both did pretty well, but you did win. I will say, without sounding too much like sour grapes, that I do feel like I was robbed in the Derby-Sunderland game, where it should have been 2-0,
Yeah.
but we'll come on to that later. As for the predictions, Sophie, let's get into them. We start with the Yorkshire Derby on Friday night at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United take on Hull City. It's second versus 22nd. Both teams have a lot to play for. I just think it's too obvious, surely. Sheffield United just keep winning, and to be honest, the standard that top four are setting, anyone that drops points in this race for the top two is in serious trouble because everyone is moving so fast. So Sheffield United, good win away at Swansea. They came from behind. Obviously, there was a red card for Darling, but I'm going to go for another 2-1 actually. I think Hull City, which you did predict correct by the way, you thought they'd lose 2-1 to QPR. Hull City put up a bit of a fight, and I think they could stay up, but this might not be the game that determines it. It's more important for Sheffield United to be consistent, if that makes sense. 2-1.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say the same, to be honest. I don't really see Sheffield United keeping a clean sheet here. Hull are actually starting to make some decent signings. They're linked with some decent players, and I think that'll be the key to them staying up and pushing up that table. But right now, I think Sheffield United grind out another win, so I'm in agreement. 2-1. 2-1. Okay, both going for the same on Friday night. Do share your thoughts. We both think Sheffield United will keep winning, and honestly, it's anyone's to predict this top two race, but Sheffield United will be keeping an eye on Monday night's game because Leeds United are away at Burnley and they can't both win, of course. On to the next one, Sophie. Another team in that bottom three with Hull City are Luton Town. They lost away at Oxford United 3-2. They put up a fight, I guess, but threw it away. Speaking of throwing things away, Millwall obviously were 2-0 up against Cardiff. They conceded 2 late goals. I mean, one was in the 95th minute, wasn't it? They could both do with a pick-me-up. Both are in pretty poor form. I'm going to go for Luton, though. Oh, okay.
I just think that at home, they've got to make sure they get the points because they are very, very poor away. And now that Matt Bloomfield's come in and he's maybe had a game or two to steady things, he needs to get the win. It needs to be a win. As for Millwall, their form's not very good and they've got to be careful. Going to go 2-1 Luton. Okay,
I thought we might actually go for the same on this one. I'm going down the middle. I'm saying 1-1 because right now it's 2 out-of-form teams going at it. So I can't really see either side winning. I know you're saying Luton, they're the home side, but right now the players on the pitch, they're not doing enough for me to warrant a win. So unless they actually turn up on Saturday, I don't know. But for me, 1-1.
1-1. Okay. It does feel like a really fascinating relegation battle.
Yes.
Right now, Plymouth look like they're in serious trouble.
Yes,
but
I agree.
You could have Luton or Millwall or Hull City or Cardiff.
Stoke.
Some real surprise teams go down this season. We're not sure who it's going to be because Portsmouth and Oxford United are doing quite well and that leaves
Derby,
other teams at risk. Derby are not doing great as well. On to the next game, Sophie. We go to Carrow Road. Norwich City take on Swansea City. Both have struggled for a couple of results recently. Swansea obviously lost the South Wales Derby 3-0 and then they were 1-0 up against Sheffield United and they lost 2-1 and Harry Darling got sent off, so he's going to be missing for a game or two. I think he'll be missing for the Coventry game.
I think so, yeah.
That said, they'll probably still beat Coventry because Swansea never lose to Coventry. As for this one though, I tend to like Norwich when they're at home, but they are missing Borja Sainz. They've had 2 difficult games away. They've lost them both, 2-0 at Sheffield United and 2-0 at Leeds.
Can't lose this one, surely.
I'm going to go for a draw.
Yeah.
1-1.
Okay, I'm chucking in another couple of goals. So 2-2 for me. I'm going to go for a Desmond. Right now, I know you've mentioned Norwich are without Borja Sainz, but to be honest, even when they had him for the last couple of games, they didn't look that good right now. They're not in great form. Then equally, Swansea aren't either. You mentioned they're going to be without Darling, which, to be fair, I think that was a harsh red. I know he's gone in, but the contact wasn't there for it to be straight red. So both teams will be without a pretty key man, but I'm sticking with my 2-2.
There you go. Yeah, I like that. Go for Desmond. Both going for a draw. Do share your thoughts on that one down in the comments. The next game, Sophie, is at Stoke City. They take on Oxford United. And all of a sudden, Stoke City have been left in a lot of trouble down at the bottom. And Oxford United look nowhere near going down. Gary Rowett is the best new manager bounce I've seen in the Championship for a long time.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
At Oxford United, he's done incredible, and they're actually in promotion form. I'm curious to see how long this lasts, because I think they've won 5 and drawn 2 of 7. They could win this.
They will win this.
Stoke City are struggling for results. Mark Robins has come in. He got a couple of draws. They just lost 3-1 to Portsmouth. So the form is certainly with Oxford United, but surely Stoke City need to get something. If they lose this, I sense some alarm bells going off. So Oxford are favourites. Do you know what? I'm not going to go for the favourites. I'm actually going to go for Stoke.
Okay.
And I'm going to go bold here. Mark Robins has to get a win now. 3-1.
Oh, wow. To be fair, Stoke occasionally can turn up and just pull a result out of the bag.
And the other thing is, Oxford have been brilliant. Don't let me take that away from them.
More so at home.
Definitely at home as well, but when their good run comes to an end, it might come to an end very abruptly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, rather than just like losing out by 1 goal, you think it'd be like, oh wow, I didn't expect them to get beat like that. Yeah, I don't see that happening, to be honest. Right now, the Stoke side, they're not showing enough fight for me. I know that they will be making a few signings, well, they need to be making a few signings because obviously they've lost their top goal scorer in Cannon, which I think that's quite harsh. I think that was the best chance of them staying up, but yeah, we'll see who else they can bring in through the door, but right now I don't fancy them, even with them being at home. So 2-0 Oxford.
2? Wow, yeah. Okay, we're both going really different.
We are actually, yeah.
That is a big disparity in our predictions. Look, credit Gary Rowett, credit Oxford United. If they stay up, that's an incredible achievement, and it looks like they could do it very comfortably.
Yeah.
As for Stoke, a little bit concerned, but we love Mark Robins, and I really hope he can do something there. On to the next game, Sophie. We go to Bristol City versus Blackburn. Blackburn, we saw them in midweek. I thought they were quite poor against Coventry.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit naive because they did have some decent chances, but they just didn't take them and Coventry punished them. I know there's Blackburn fans that have mentioned a little bit of an injury crisis.
Yeah, there is a big injury crisis.
Mukfadzian's just gone out the door as well now as well. As for Bristol City, obviously lost 1-0 to Coventry, and then I predicted them to draw 2-2 at Sheffield Wednesday.
Good shout.
And they did. I think Bristol City might win. I don't think there's much in this. I think it could go either way, but I don't want to fall into cliches, but it does seem like every season Blackburn start well and then they fall away after Christmas, and I'm going to go Bristol City 1-0.
Bristol City at home?
Yeah.
I do fancy them more at home. I'm tempted to say 2-1 Bristol City. It's either 1-1 or 2-1. I think I might say 2-1 purely because Blackburn's injuries, they are totting up right now. And in both games against Coventry this season, they haven't turned up at all. And I'm not going to judge them purely on that because I know that they are a good team and they are in the playoff picture. But I don't see them finishing up there based on those performances and also the amount of injuries they've got. So I think they're going to drop down. I think this could be the start of it. So, yeah, 2-1.
2-1. Yeah, and Bristol City are certainly still in the playoff race as well. There's quite a few teams queuing up around there. The next game, though, is a big game down at the bottom end of the table as Cardiff City take on Derby County. These two are right just above that bottom 3, but they are in complete different form at the minute. Yeah. Cardiff City, I mean, Cardiff have been great.
They have actually,
They've been really good. They didn't win in midweek, but they came back and rescued a draw at Millwall to score in the last minute. Feels like a win.
Yeah, definitely.
And Derby County are really hopeless at the minute. And when they start losing home games and they're not scoring goals, then you really worry because that was what was keeping them away from trouble. The home results and Jerry Yates's goals. I think I've got to go for Cardiff, and I think it could be routine. 2-0.
Yeah, I'm going 3-0. I thought you might go a little bit closer in the scoreline, but yeah, we both obviously fancy Cardiff a lot more at home. I think they'll get the clean sheet as well, because Derby, they have dropped off compared to how they started this season. They're not travelling well at all, and I think, I don't know what changed with Cardiff, to be honest. I don't know if they thought, okay, we're getting a little bit too close to that bottom three now, let's actually start playing. That's what it seems like, and I think this could be a fairly heavy one, so 3-0.
Yeah, it's a shame for Cardiff that it's taken so long for their season to get going, but...
Yeah, but there's still quite a few games left, so you never know. If they hit a good run of form, they could well finish within like the top 8.
Well,
I don't see it happening
bold
myself,
statement,
but no, they
yeah.
could. If they just go on like a massive winning run, they could well finish up there.
Yeah, and I suppose it's better late than never that they start getting going. Speaking of better late than never, let's talk about the Sky Blues, Sophie. Coventry City take on Watford, and we've won back-to-back games, and 3 games in a row in all competitions, if we include the cup game.
Oh, we're including that.
Yeah, so are things bubbling nicely for Coventry?
They are. I mean, when you look at some of the fixtures, you think, okay, yeah, should be winning that one. But away at Rovers, I know we've got a good record against them, but I did not see us getting the win there. I thought, do you know what, take a point before the game. And then the way we started, I was like, this is going to be a hammering. But Oliver Dovin kept us in it. He is in fine form. And both our strikers got the goals, so I'm happy with that.
The 2 big words for me coming into this game are concentration and consistency. Don't get me wrong, I'm really happy with the recent results, but we've put ourselves on the back foot this season. I want to go and win more, and I know I might sound greedy, but I want to win this one. I want to win the next one, do you know what I mean? Because we've got to make up for lost ground, and we've got to concentrate, but we've got to be consistent. I think the first goal will be crucial because Coventry City haven't been scoring many, but defensively we've been quite good. And if Dovin is on his A game and we play well as a team and don't concede too many chances, then I reckon Coventry might snatch it. Watford's form's not been great recently, although it does seem as if their home and away forms have switched over and they're now worse at home and better away.
Yeah.
But Coventry 1-0.
Yeah, I'm saying Coventry 1-0 as well, which is weird because we're both feeling positive again. It's funny what a couple of results
I'm not going to get too carried away because I know this team have let me down quite a bit this season, but
yeah.
We've been better.
Exactly, and I said to you before the game, before we started recording, that any time I feel confident going into a game, we end up losing. So I'm hoping that's not a bad omen because I'm feeling confident in this one. It's not taking anything away from Watford. I think they are a good team, and as you mentioned, they've started picking up more points away from home. So there is definitely something to be worried about there. But if we can just keep it tight at the back and just take any opportunities we get up front, I'd be very happy, and I think we could get the win. So yeah, I'm in agreement, 1-0.
We'll see, fingers crossed. Another big game in the playoff race, Sophie, is at Deepdale. Preston take on Middlesbrough, and this is where I'm going to sort of draw the cut-off line for the playoffs. Middlesbrough are 5th. I think all of the 4 above them are going to finish in the top 4. Middlesbrough down to Preston is probably as far down as the playoff race goes. I think Preston have the tiniest chance, so I'm still just going to include them. I think they're 10 points behind Borough, and obviously with this game at home, and if they could beat them, they could close it to 7 points. I think Preston could win because they're solid and they grind out results. It was a great away win at Watford, but Middlesbrough got a good win, and both goals were brilliant against West Brom. I think it was it Doak and Howson?
Yeah.
This is a really tough one, isn't it? But I just don't like backing Preston to lose. I think Paul Heckingbottom's made them very solid, but I think Middlesbrough might score, so I'm going to go 1-1.
Alright, I was tempted to say 1-1, but I'll spice it up. I'll go 0-0. I think it will be.
Spice it up.
And they go goalless. Yeah. I think it will be a draw, but I don't want to be in agreement too much. I need to try and make some points up between you, so I'll go for a goalless draw.
Sounds like fun. Do share your thoughts though. It might play out, it might happen. I think you predicted Preston to draw 0-0 with Luton, and that was right, to be fair, wasn't it?
Okay, so never know.
On to the next game, Sophie. Let's go to West London as QPR take on Sheffield Wednesday, and QPR are very much the form team of the division.
Yeah, they are.
They were bottom in October, Sophie. Now they're on the verge of the playoffs.
Yeah, crazy.
They are flying, and they come into this right next to Sheffield Wednesday in the table, but QPR are in better form and they have the home advantage. I like Sheffield Wednesday. I think Danny Roll, as we've spoken about, is a good manager. If he gets the backing, then he could be onto something, but is he going to get the backing from Chansiri? I'm not sure. It was definitely points dropped against Bristol City. They were leading twice. and conceded late on.
Actually, I would say that is on Danny Roll, to be honest, because some of the decisions he made to see that game out weren't the correct ones, and obviously proved because they conceded late on and dropped points.
Yeah.
So he's got to take some of that blame.
I think Bristol City deserved it in the end, to be fair as well.
Oh yeah, they kept battling.
They kept pushing. As for this one, I've got to go for QPR.
Yeah.
I just think they keep winning, and you can't see them not winning at the minute. QPR 2, Wednesday 1.
Oh, see, I'm going to throw in another goal. I'm going to say 3-1 QPR. I think right now QPR are, as you mentioned, they're in fine form. And then Sheffield Wednesday, I wouldn't say they're in bad form right now, but they don't seem to be getting the maximum amount of points when you think that they will as well. So for me, QPR win this one, 3-1.
3-1, yeah, okay. Do share your thoughts down below. QPR are flying. And imagine if they make the playoffs.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's not impossible, is it?
Yeah, it reminds me of when Coventry did it, you know, when we were bottom of the
When we were right
league,
down there and then
Forest.
shot up, true. Yeah.
It tends to be that you get the odd team that's bottom in October, goes
Plymouth
on
might do it.
make the playoffs. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Speaking of Plymouth, let's go to Sunderland versus Plymouth, Sophie. Sunderland, as we just mentioned at the start of the video, you backed them to win 1-0 at Derby. I backed them to win 2-0 at Derby, and it should have been 2-0. I was robbed.
Should have, yeah. I'd obviously had a word with the fourth official and say, if they do get a second, rule it out for whatever. And I don't know what it was ruled out for, offside or...
No reason. There was absolutely no reason to disallow that goal, and I'm fuming. Sunderland should have won 2-0, and I should have got more points for my predictions.
Yeah.
But I'm not salty about it. As for Plymouth, we both backed them to lose, but we didn't back them to lose 5-0 to Burnley. Blimey.
5-0 at half-time.
Yeah, I know. It was game over at half-time, and I've heard some rumours about Morgan Whittaker that are not good.
No, his manager's come out and said it. What's his name? Muslik.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but he's come out and said, yeah, no, he was in the starting lineup for today, and he didn't turn up.
That stinks.
That is disgusting. I don't care who you are, you're not bigger than a club, and to do that, I think it's so poor. It's poor form. I do get you're not going to want to be in a relegation fight when there's teams sniffing around that are in a promotion fight, but to do that to your club, disgusting.
Yeah, it is, and I agree. I respect Plymouth a lot. Plymouth are a good club, but let's be honest, on the pitch they've been really poor this season.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go down. Unless they do something special, they could still stay up, but I think they're going to go down, and I just hope that they can come back stronger. As for this one, I'm sorry Plymouth fans, but I'm going to go for another 5-0. For me, I just think it's the perfect opportunity to play a bonus point. I think Sunderland could rip them to pieces. Let's not forget, actually, Plymouth did beat them 3-2 at Home Park, but I don't see that happening at the Stadium of Light.
No, I don't see them conceding, actually. I'm going to say 4-0, so I'm being a little bit kinder to the Plymouth fans, but... It's such a long journey as well that you almost hope that they get something from it. Obviously not if you're a Sunderland fan, but that journey, you just think, bloody hell, please get something. And I just, all credit to them, because I see it being a heavy defeat.
I think it could be carnage. Do share your thoughts down in the comments. The next game is at the Hawthorn, Sophie, as West Bromwich Albion take on Portsmouth. West Brom are yet to win under Tony Mowbray. They drew with Stoke, and then they did lose the Tony Mowbray derby to Middlesbrough. They're outside the playoffs now, so they're going to be looking to go back to winning ways. They take on Portsmouth, who are flying, but at home. And I really want to reward Portsmouth. In fact, we are going to reward Portsmouth later in the video, so we have got a midweek game on Tuesday that we're going to quickly mention at the end of this video, so Portsmouth fans, do stick around. But as for this game, I just think I prefer Portsmouth at home, and they're not at home. I'm going to go West Brom 2-1.
Yeah, I might go 1-0 West Brom. I think they might just edge it. As we've said, Portsmouth just seem a completely different team at home. But I mean, it's a 1.5 per game average if you win at home, lose away, so it's not terrible. I think they'll be fine if they continue that, but yeah, I think Tony Mowbray will get maximum points in this one, but only just. I think it could be a tight game.
There you go. Yeah, he's just got to win. He hasn't got that first win yet, and you know he wants it sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
The next game, Sophie, is the big one on Monday night as Burnley take on Leeds, and we've spoken about the standard that this top four are setting. You can't afford to drop points, so it's a massive game. And if Sheffield United win on Friday and Sunderland win over the weekend at home to Plymouth, which you think they should, that will put the pressure on these two. Burnley tend to do quite well in the head-to-head games.
Yeah. They
did win 1-0 at Ellen Road earlier this season, but they really could have lost to Sunderland last week at home, couldn't they?
True. Yeah.
This is a difficult one, Sophie. Leeds United are the top scorers in the division. Burnley have the best defence in the division. Burnley, though, just scored 5 against Plymouth, but Leeds have just scored 5 in 2 games against Sheffield Wednesday and Norwich. I've got to go for a draw. Going to sit on the fence.
Okay.
1-1.
Go on, I won't sit on the fence then. I'll back the home side.
Oh.
I think, Burnley might just edge this one, and that's no slant on Leeds at all. I just think in these games, certain players will turn up, and I think Scott Parker just seems to be getting it done in these really crucial games. Obviously, they've just come off the back of a 5-0 win in 45 minutes against Plymouth. They're going to be on an all-time high. But then Leeds are in fine form as well, so I can see why you've gone down the middle. I just think there will be a winner, surely. And I think it's going to be the home side.
It's a massive game, it really is, and that top 4 race for the top 2 is incredible. It could come down to goal difference at the end of this season. Share your thoughts, Burnley and Leeds fans. We respect you both a lot. It could be you two that get promoted, it could be one of you misses out, we'll see. Quickly, Sophie, we're going to have to do a quick prediction for Tuesday night's game.
Right.
Portsmouth are at home to Millwall. I've got to back Portsmouth when they're at home.
3-0 Pompey.
Oh, okay.
Nip that one in there. I think they're so good at home. Millwall aren't in good form. 3-0.
I like that. You've jumped in. You're confident. I'm going to say 2-1 to Portsmouth.
Okay.
I will back them, but I'll be a bit more pragmatic. And there you go. That's our predictions for Tuesday night's game. Look out for that. Portsmouth v Millwall. We're both back in Pompey. And other than that, guys, that is it. That is our predictions for this week in the Championship. Be sure to share your predictions down in the comments. Make sure to support us by hitting the like button and hitting the subscribe button. It only takes 2 seconds, and a massive thank you for your support. Thank you for joining me, Sophie.
Thank you.
We will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace out.